You followed every rule they gave you. You did the work. You showed up. You carried the weight without complaint. You became the man everyone counted on, the provider, the protector, the rock. And yet, here you are, feeling something no one warned you about. Not broken, not lost, just distant. Like there's a part of you still waiting for life to begin. You did what was expected, got the job, settled down, took responsibility. You ticked every box. But somewhere inside, something went quiet. That fire, that curiosity, that hunger, it didn't die. It just faded beneath layers of routine, of doing what's right. And now it whispers, late at night, in the silence, in the stillness. Is this really it? That's the question, the one you keep pushing down because life looks fine on paper. No crisis, no tragedy, just this low, steady ache that something essential is missing. Not something out there, something in you. Look closer. Go back to the big decisions, the job you chose, the life partner you picked, the path you're on. Were those really your choices? Or did you just follow the current laid out by family, school, society? Did you choose what you wanted or what you were told was right? There's a difference. One leads to freedom, the other to performance. And maybe, just maybe, you've been performing so long you forgot it was a role. Maybe that version of you, the one always composed, always calm, always in control, was never really you. Maybe it was just the man the world needed, not the one you are. So, you put on the mask. You kept it all together. You smiled when it hurt. You carried burdens you never named. And you wore that mask so well, even you started to believe it was your face. But now, something's shifting. That quiet voice inside isn't going away. It's growing louder, not shouting, but steady, persistent. It's not telling you to burn everything down. It's not asking for a midlife crisis or a dramatic escape. It's asking you to come home, to the man you were before you were told who to be, the one who still lives under the layers. Carl Jung called it the unlived life, the part of us we abandon in order to survive, the self we silence while we become what others expect. And here's the truth. This ache inside you, it's not a failure, it's a signal, it's a compass. It's pointing you back to yourself. It doesn't mean everything you've built is wrong. It means something within you is ready for more, ready for honesty, ready for freedom, ready for you. You don't have to destroy what you've built to find that. But you do have to stop pretending. Stop saying I'm fine when you're not. Stop nodding along when you disagree. Stop shrinking to fit the role you never asked for. That's where the real work begins. Not in perfection, in honesty, in facing the small, daily moments where you traded truth for approval, and reclaiming them, one at a time. You've built a life that looks solid from the outside, but now it's time to check the foundation. Is it built on you, or on the version of you that was easiest to digest, palatable, polished, polite? Because if you're being honest, that mask doesn't fit anymore. It's tight, it's heavy, and it's making it hard to breathe. Jung warned that the greatest danger wasn't wearing a mask. It was forgetting you ever put one on. And that's where many men get stuck. You think you're being yourself, but really, you're being the persona you created to survive, to be liked, to be accepted. And it worked. You got approval, respect, maybe even admiration. But deep down, none of it touched the real you, because no one ever really saw you. You kept yourself safe, but you kept yourself hidden. Now, here's the hard truth. No one can truly love you if they've never truly seen you. That's the price of the mask. You gained acceptance, but you lost connection. And connection is what makes us feel alive. Not praise, not status, not security. Real connection, first with yourself, then with others. So, how do you find your way back? It starts by getting quiet. Not with noise, not with another distraction, just stillness. That's where the voice lives, the one that knows you're more than a paycheck, more than a partner, more than someone who always has it all together. That voice doesn't yell, it doesn't demand, it waits, it watches, it whispers when everything else goes silent. This isn't me. And in that whisper, there's no shame, only truth. You're not failing, you're waking up. You see, the persona, the mask, it didn't come from weakness, it came from survival. You shaped yourself to fit in, to avoid conflict, to keep the peace. And maybe it worked. Maybe you got what you thought you wanted. But it came at a cost, because the longer you play a role, the more the real you fades into the background. You become dependable but disconnected, strong but numb, visible but unseen. And no one teaches you how to come back from that. Because no one talks about it. Everyone's too busy pretending. But let's talk about it. Let's stop pretending. Let's stop calling performance strength. Let's stop mistaking silence for peace. And let's ask the hard questions. Why do you say yes when you want to say no? Why do you laugh when you're not amused? Why do you swallow your truth to keep others comfortable? These aren't small questions. These are the doorway, the beginning. Each honest answer is a step towards something real. This is what Carl Jung called individuation. The process of becoming who you really are, not who your family needed, not who your partner expected, not who society rewarded. You, the original self, buried beneath layers of doing the right thing, being the good man, never rocking the boat. And make no mistake, this work isn't easy. It's not clean. It's not Instagrammable. But it's the only path that leads to a life that actually feels like yours. It starts with moments, small ones, saying, I don't feel okay today, instead of smiling through it. Choosing rest over performance. Saying no to things that drain you, even if it disappoints someone. It's not about burning bridges. It's about building an inner foundation that can't be shaken by opinions. Because for the first time, you're living from the inside out. Not for applause, not for safety, for truth. And yes, it's scary. There will be fear. Because the mask protected you. It kept you from rejection, from judgment, from being misunderstood. But it also kept you from connection, from peace, from joy. The kind of joy that comes from being fully known. Not as an idea, as a human being. Imperfect, whole, and real. You might lose people. That's true. The ones who only loved the role you played might not know what to do with the real you. But that's okay. Because the people who truly see you, the ones worth keeping, can only find you once you show them who you are. No mask, no act, just truth. And you'll be shocked how many men are secretly waiting to do the same. To drop the performance, to finally exhale. Because you're not the only one who feels this way. Most men carry it, this quiet ache, this unspoken question. Is this really all there is? And they push it down. They work harder, they numb it, they hide it. Because they think they're the only one. You're not. You're just one of the few brave enough to face it. And that makes you dangerous. Not to the world, but to the illusion the world sold you. That being a man means sacrificing your soul to play a part. And here's the twist. When you stop performing, when you drop the mask, when you speak honestly, something changes. Not just in you, but around you. People respond to truth. Realness is rare, and it's magnetic. It pulls the right people in. It builds real trust. It reshapes your relationships, your work, your entire sense of self. Because for the first time, you're not managing your image. You're just being. And there is nothing stronger than a man who is simply himself. And that's when it starts to feel real again. Life doesn't feel like something you're performing. It feels like something you're living. You're not calculating your every move to make sure you're seen the right way. You're not walking on eggshells trying to keep everyone comfortable. You're just here, present, grounded, whole. And yes, it might feel unfamiliar at first. When you've worn a mask for years, the first breath of real air burns a little, the silence feels louder, the mirror feels deeper. But stay with it. Because this is the moment your life finally turns inward, toward what matters. That mask you wore, it served its purpose. It got you through years you didn't think you'd survive. It helped you blend in when standing out felt dangerous. It helped you be the man others needed when no one asked who you needed to be. So, don't hate it. Don't shame yourself for it. Thank it. And then, let it go. Layer by layer. Belief by belief. Until what's left is solid and unshakable because it's not built on performance. It's built on truth. Jung said the self is deeper than personality, deeper than image. It's the quiet presence that's always been there, under the fear, under the habits, under the rehearsed smiles. It's the you that existed before you were taught to be someone else. The you that knows what feels right, not because someone said so, but because something inside you resonates. And when you begin living from that place, not the persona, not the ego, but the self, you stop chasing approval. You stop bending for every standard that isn't yours. You stop living someone else's story. You become a man the world rarely sees, not because you're louder, but because you're real. You're present. You stand in who you are without the need to explain, defend, or impress. And in doing that, you give other men permission to do the same. You become a mirror, a wake-up call, a fire. You walk into rooms without pretending, and the air changes. Because realness always cuts through the noise. This journey doesn't end. It deepens. You'll keep peeling layers, keep catching yourself falling back into performance. That's okay. It's not about perfection, it's about awareness. Each time you notice the mask creeping back on, you choose again. You choose truth, you choose presence, you choose you, again and again. And one day you'll look back, not with regret for the years you spent pretending, but with gratitude, because every step, even the lost ones, led you here, to this version of you, the one who no longer needs to be liked to feel valuable, the one who no longer fears being misunderstood because he understands himself, the one who no longer asks, "Is this it?" because he finally feels alive. So, take the first step. Grab that paper. Write down 5 things you've been doing just to keep others happy. Not because they feel true, but because they feel safe. Then ask yourself, are these choices mine, or were they handed to me? And when you're ready, burn it. Not in anger, but in release. Because you're done performing. You're ready to live. And then write one truth. One thing that's just for you. Maybe it's setting a boundary. Maybe it's telling the truth for once. Maybe it's resting without guilt. Do it. Feel it. That's the crack in the mask. That's the first breath of real air. You don't need a massive breakthrough. You need a moment of courage, one small, honest act. That's how it starts. And as those moments build, so does your freedom. So now I ask you directly, will you keep playing the role, smiling on cue, holding it together just so others stay comfortable? Or will you say the words that change everything? I choose to be real. If you're ready, drop that line in the comments. Write it like a promise. Because someone else is watching. Someone who's still pretending. And your courage might give them permission to take off the mask too. Be the man who chooses truth over approval. Depth over performance. Reality over image. Stay strong, stay honest, and keep walking home to yourself. I'll see you in the next one.